the difference of
Hello, and welcome to my latest vlog, where I, not Wednesday Addams, will be reading a lot of books. So hi, this is a horrible wig. This is from Five Below, and I will grant, it's not the worst. I didn't even put on a wig cap. You can see my normal hair. You know what, I'm just gonna, are you fine if I take this off? Oh my gosh, okay. Whew, get that put away. I bought it super cheap because I had this dress, and I used it last year for a Halloween, like, little mini video. But the reason I was vaguely dressed like Wednesday Addams and why you got that, like, fun little intro clip, is I randomly got sent a Wednesday Addams journal. So first, this is Thing. He is not turned on. No, he's still turned on. Okay. So you saw him in the clip, but he's like, he comes with a little thing so you can put him on your shoulder and like carry him around. He's $20 at Walmart. I was very excited because there's like an RC one, but it's huge. But this one's like hand shaped, like actual hand sized. So yes, I own this now. I should turn him off to save the battery. But yeah, this is him. Is that off? I think that's off. We're just gonna put him by the camera for a sec. He comes with a little remote, which you can, fits in my pocket, which is nice, but they show it on like a kid on their wrist. So wrist or pocket. But I thought I would show you this in slightly more detail. So it's the Wednesday, like, licensed official Nightshade Society journal. It's really purple and super fun. I actually need a new reading journal, which I don't do like a lot of stuff. Like, I don't really track things. I just sort of write down what I'm reading. But I'm gonna need a new one for next year because I'm using this Bob's Burgers one and I accidentally snapped the spine. I don't even know how, like, the spine is busted. So this I'm going to be using starting in January. So it's very, very nice. It's very purple. I tried to show, so like, this is, like, there's little quotes from the show. Like, this says, Sartre. Has a quote from Sartre. There we go. The focus is going to be a little goofy because it's going to go from The Notebook to me. There's like little, I tried to show this one that has like a little spider. Her scorpion is in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It says solitude suits me. It's the little scorpion. So like there's a bunch of stuff and it's just like lined paper, but very purple, very fun. I really like it. I am going to take off the little sleevey bit. So it won't have the little Wednesday sleeve, but I just thought it was really fun. And I don't know why Penguin Random House sent it to me, but I very much appreciate it because purple is very much my thing. I don't know if you can tell, but I have purple hair. Lighting in my office sometimes makes it look black. But yeah, so I really like purple. And it gave me an excuse to wear this fun dress. I wore this to Salem a little bit ago, but I thought it was fun. It kind of reminds me of Wednesday / Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So yes, besides showing off that notebook, which I will start using in January, this vlog, weirdly enough, is only going to include books that start with W, which was not intentional. We will be watching things that don't start with W, I'm sure, because I have some movies I want to watch this week, but I just, somehow, the first book will be We Used to Live Here, which I believe is inspired by a Reddit thread, or like a Reddit creepypasta. Y'all, I'm not actually super old, but like, sorry, I have asthma. Sometimes I cough a little. Sometimes my brain is like, I think I'm too old to know what that is. So I spent a long time not really on the internet growing up and into like college and grad school. So like, I sometimes don't know things. Sorry, I just don't. And I was never on Reddit. So this is a queer couple and it's two women. I know this for sure. Charlie and Eve. They have purchased a house to flip it in a picturesque neighborhood. And while they're working on renovations, a family arrives and says, "We used to live here." And then strange things begin to happen. I'm very excited for this. A ton of people have been enjoying it. And I guess there's like stuff about like Morse code and some other goofy stuff. I don't know. I'm excited to read it. I was surprised my library hold came in so early. And then my other books, oh, they're on the floor. I should just grab them. The other two books I'm going to attempt to read in this are, please hold, just enjoy the dress. Hi, hold on. Ugh. Are Witch Child by Celia Reese, which is a children's book. It's like middle grade, possibly. And it is Enter the World of Mary Newberry, where being different can cost a person her life. She's 14 years old. This is her diary. She has fled England to an American colony, but how long can she hide her true nature from the Puritans? I am doing this for... so these are all for Halloween-A-Thon, FYI. This one is for Child's Play, which is child main character. She's 14, so I feel like that counts. We Used to Live Here is for The Night He Came Home, and it has a home on the cover. That's what that prompt is. And then Where Geeks Save Wisconsin is a queer, so we get two queer books, book about werewolves and IT guys. I'm not really going to get into it because I feel like the description gives a lot away, but I got these two at my library book sale, and I think they were like 50 cents or a quarter. It was very fun. This one is for Rocky Horror Picture Show, which was just book with 4 words in the title, and I'm counting Where Geeks as 2 different words, even though there's a little hyphen. I'm doing it anyway. I also watched Rocky Horror Picture Show, but had to count that for, that was in my last vlog. I counted that for black and white movie or book published or released before you were born. I was gonna do a black and white movie, but I really wanted to watch it for my wedding themed vlog because there are 2 weddings in that. And yeah, so that's what I did. But those are the books. There will be lots of other random things that we're watching, so I will fill you in, but I'm going to get to We Used to Live Here first because it is a library book and I need to get it back to the library. So yeah, that's it for now. I used my pre-work coffee making time to do my fun little watch me make coffee moment, but I'm gonna get changed into a sweatshirt because I am freezing and start my actual work day. So I will talk to you at some point. Don't know when, probably about the book. Oh, also, I am going to vent about American Horror Stories at some point because the 5, she said questioningly, new episodes went up apparently yesterday, and I watched a little bit of it, and I'm gonna have thoughts. I'm gonna have to share my thoughts with someone. I know it's not W themed, but I did tell you the watching elements will not be W themed, though I probably will watch Wednesday this week once I finish American Horror Stories because I feel like I have to now. I just do. Anyway, I gotta go. I will talk to you later when I'm much warmer. Even though I love this dress, I'm freezing my buns off. All right, talk to you later. Hello, it is after work and I'm cold, so my hood is up. Also, this is my very cool Hex Girl sweatshirt. Krista made this for me, so it looks like a fake tour shirt. So like this is the back. Anyway, I thought since it was after work, and yes, you're still in my office because it's easier to set you up right there right now. I need to like do dinner, take a shower. My hair is super gross. It's actually not that bad. It's just bugging me a little. But I said I was going to talk to you about American Horror Stories with the IES. So if you didn't know, I think everyone knows because it's been out for a little while. So Ryan Murphy has like standard American Horror Story, which I didn't even watch the last season of, the Delicate season. I read Delicate Condition, the book, because I was like, oh, it's based on a book. And then I tried to watch the adaptation, we're saying in quotes, and it like didn't follow the book at all. It felt like it really like departed from the actual book because a lot of the setup in Delicate Condition, the book, is that our main character is in her like early 40s and trying to conceive a child, and then they cast Emma Roberts, who is like my age and I am in my early 30s. So I was like, there's like a very big difference. Like still technically maybe should be considered a quote-unquote geriatric pregnancy, but I was like, the whole point is that she's supposed to be like in her 40s and it's true. Anyway, so I just like didn't watch it because also I was like, I don't care. Like I just didn't like the adaptation, so I stopped watching it. I though last year did watch what was apparently the first half of season 3 of American Horror Stories. So they released like 4 episodes and I was like, okay, that's super weird, but fine. Like I just assumed it was going to be like a condensed series or season because the writer's strike was still going on. I don't know how that worked. Like I don't know when they were made. Like, well, it was writers and actors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when they got made, whatever. I'm not going to get into that because it involves too many things, but I did watch them last year. And those 4 episodes, I'm not going to get into. I know one involved a take on the, you get a kidney stolen on a blind date. And then there was one about a tapeworm that was like vaguely sentient. I don't remember what the other 2 were about. I really don't at all. Oh wait, one had an AI robot-y thing that like became sentient. Possibly. Maybe. And there was another episode. That one I don't remember at all. I'm trying. And I don't remember. Nope, not coming to me. Might come to me, who knows. But they announced that there were going to be 5 episodes for like Halloween. This was specific to Hulu, which they were last season too. I guess last year, not last season. So I was like, okay, they're probably just going to do another mini season. It's a mini series, I assume. No. So they added the 5 episodes to season 3, which whatever. The other 2 seasons are longer. Cool, fine, do what you want to do. So they came out and I started watching it last night. I didn't get super far last night. And then like I had some on this morning before work. And then I played some as background during work because I had so little left. I really just had to play the last episode before work, or like while I was doing stuff, which was fine. So I'm going to say what I always wind up saying for these. American Horror Stories consistently feels like an idea that was pitched to Ryan Murphy, and then he was like, well, I can't make a series out of this, but like maybe let's see what you can do if I give you like 30 to 45 minutes. And sometimes they even feel long at the like 30-minute. Like some of them are shorter, like closer to 30 than 45. And even then sometimes I'm like, this did not need to be this long. So it's just interesting. It feels like a pitch almost. Like this is an idea. This is what we're presenting to you. It almost feels like something you present to a studio to get them to like you or like want to produce your work, like a mock-up, or like when you make a short film so you can maybe get funding for a feature-length version of the film. I'm going to reiterate, some of these could be shorts. Like, there are some where I'm like, there's too much happening. This could have been shorter. Like, the first one, I was actually yelling at my television set, so it was called Backrooms. And literally, the setup of this, our main character is a horror director, or horror writer. He's a horror writer. And his son, who was 10, I think he was 10, maybe not 10. I don't know, he's been gone for 10 years. And like, he's like, this horrible things could have happened to my son. And like the whole setup, he like immediately has a dream with the kid in it. And I'm like, okay, but also like, I think you killed him. Like I just like the whole vibe of it. And I'm not going to say whether that's true or not, but like the whole thing was just giving me like, you have guilt. And I was like, I don't understand. And it was like 38 minutes where I was just like, this is taking too long. I was like, I don't even care. Just like be done. It would have been great as like a horror short. Like Hulu used to do, I think they might still do them. It was like bite-sized horror or something. And the episodes were like small films, like microfilms or like mini film. I don't know what to call them. Technically a short film, but they were like 5 minutes, like max. I feel like this entire episode, Backrooms, could have been handled in 5 minutes and I still would have gotten it. Like still would have really worked. I just thought it was too long. The second one was called Clone. And in this one, there's a very rich man who is ill. And he's like, he has a much younger boyfriend, which like, they're very awkward about it throughout. But he has a younger boyfriend and he's like, oh, I'm going to send you a clone. Like this android guy, which like, there is literally a Black Mirror episode where a woman gets like an android version of her husband, I believe. I think I've seen this numerous times, and the android always winds up being the better version of that person. Now, there was like a twist at the end of this that I won't get into, but like a lot of the buildup, I was like, you get this kind of going where I thought, sort of. So it was surprising, but also, again, very long for what it was. And also, I kind of wished it had gotten more into something that happened to a friend of the boyfriend. Like, I don't know. I wish they had done something more with that, maybe. I don't know. It just felt like stuff happened that didn't really need to be there, though maybe it did. I just felt like it could have been condensed, though it was interesting. The third one was just called X. which was weird because X is also the name of a movie, right? Like, that's the first of the, oh no, I can't remember her name. Maxine? That Maxine one. Isn't it? X is the first one. Yeah, that's why that was so weird. So this one is all in black and white, which, clever, cool, do what you want, fun idea. There's a creepy woman who's like very, oh my gosh, Night of the Living Dead, like very creepy, like, so that was cool. But we're in the present, I think, even though it's in black and white, possibly not. It just felt very present-y. And our main character is a nurse who has transferred here from another hospital at some point, and it's like a cancer hospital, or they treat cancer in some capacity. And like, it all revolves around like this random woman showing up, talking about Ward X, and like figuring out what Ward X is. But also, if you saw Asylum, I feel like you would immediately be like, oh yes, this is what's happening. Like, I was like, but also like, you did a medical based like season, Mr. Murphy. You've done medical things a few times. Like, people are gonna figure out what's going on. Like, I was like, okay, it's fine. I wanted to like it more because it was so like it was supposed to evoke like a lot of horror thoughts. I just thought it was fine. Like, I was not wowed. Henry Winkler's in that though, which was fun. Because I just liked seeing him. There was a Winkler as a director in a different one. I don't think that one. And I was like, oh, that's probably Henry Winkler's kid. Just a guess. I don't know. But it's fine. It's okay. Then Leprechaun. And I hated this one. I'm so sorry. I am not a huge fan of like when they decide it's going to be a heist but horror, and then they like threw leprechauns in. Like, I was just like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I could watch so many things that are a heist, and I don't want a heist that turns into a horror thing, because I don't care for them. They're fine, but like, I just was not feeling it. And like, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this feels like something that like, minus the leprechauns, would star Ben Affleck and Matt Damon when they were younger. And I was like, that's all I'm feeling. Like, the whole time I was like, I don't care. I don't care about your stupid heist. And I also didn't care because like, one of the guys in the heist is dumb. Like, he doesn't realize that he's basically being set up until halfway through the heist. And I was like, man, did you not even, ugh. It's just kind of annoying. And then like, the explanation at the end was fine. Like, it's leprechauns, so I was like, oh, well, the title is Leprechaun, so this is all gonna end with like leprechaun gold and leprechauniness and probably evil leprechauns, and that's literally what it was. And I was like, I just didn't care. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I didn't. And then the final one was interesting, but I feel like this is the one where they actually needed more time. So it was called The Thing Under the Bed, and it was very interesting. It actually, so it reminded me a little bit of the short story Grady Hendrix did called Ankle Snatchers, which I wasn't a huge fan of, which is not his fault. I just like couldn't get into it, but it was very similar to that, except it was sort of like boogeyman, possibly like Carrie vibes. Like, a lot of things are happening, and that one had like a lot of people I recognize. Like, Debbie Ryan is the lead. Some people I don't know their actual names. So her sister is played by the person who played DeLuca in A League of Their Own, the TV show. And then there was an actor from Somebody Somewhere, which is a really good show on HBO Max. I guess just Max now. He was in it. And then one of the sisters from Charmed, the reboot, was in it. And I was like, oh wow, this is a lot of people I recognize. So like, it was interesting. I just like, I felt like they could have done more with other parts of it. Like, there was a lot of buildup to the like end, but I kind of wanted the end to be longer. Like, I wish the ending of it had been longer as opposed to like all the build up to the big fight scene. So like, it was interesting. I just think it could have been handled differently, and might have even worked if it had been part of like an actual season as one of the subplots maybe. Like, because it was the most interesting of them. Like, I enjoyed it the most. I just thought it ended like very abruptly, which again, they're short, but I just felt like some things could have been done slightly differently so it didn't end so abruptly based on time. But it was fine. If they do another season, I will probably watch them and be slightly ambivalent to some degree, because I feel like I'm always like, about American Horror Stories. He has another thing out called Grotesquerie, because it's not set in America, I think. I don't quite remember. There are Catholics in it. Like, there's like some kind of Catholic aspect. And I only have been thinking about it because I read American Rapture, which I absolutely loved. And I wanted to watch like Catholic horror, but I didn't get to that because it was a whole season, like a whole show. So yeah, I might check that out, but I'm gonna give myself a bit of a Ryan Murphy break because I used to be able to watch a lot of Ryan Murphy in a row, and now sometimes if I watch too many things that he's had his hand in all at once, my brain is like, but they're all like similar. So I'm gonna give myself a break. Maybe check it out next week. I don't know. I'll simmer on when I'm going to do that. But yes, I just thought I'd give you my thoughts. If you watch them, please let me know what you thought of the episodes, because I always feel like weirdly ambivalent about them at the end. Like, they were fine. Some I greatly disliked, but overall, fine. Like, that's what I come away with almost every time. So I'd just like to know, are you even watching them? Do people even watch American Horror Stories? Someone has to be if Hulu keeps making them. Maybe it's just me. It's probably not just me. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I have after work things to do. But I just wanted to update you while I still, like, had my lights on and stuff. So I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later. I have no book updates. I did not plan to have book updates this early, but there you go. You got a whole American Horror Stories rant about the new season / half season, whatever. But I will talk to you later when I have actual, like, other updates of some sort. Who knows what they will be. But yeah, bye for now. Hello. It is right at the start of my lunch break, which is bittersweet because Krista's work schedule is a nightmare today. She's covering for someone and just like, she has so much going on today, and she has night court. So I'm just me for lunch. And yeah, so I'm wearing my super oversized, very cozy Halloween cookie sweatshirt. My sister found this and then went in with my, sister-in-law now. But with William and Caroline, who just got married in the last vlog. You didn't see it because I didn't film any of it because it was their wedding and I didn't want to be weird. But they just got married. Congratulations to them. And as a segue, I meant to show these in the last video and I just like did not have the time. But these are the little Care Bears. They are the Care Bear Universal Monsters. Sorry, I like looked up to the sky to remember mashup. And so Grumpy is Frankenstein's monster. Sorry. And Cheer Bear, who is the bear I had growing up, is Bride of Frankenstein, which, funnily enough, I'm going to tell this. I have told this in other vlogs before, but when I was a kid, even though you can tell Cheer Bear is bright pink, all bears to me were boys. So all bear plushies, regardless of color, were boy bears. So my Cheer Bear was a boy. Like, I was just like, he. I'd never seen the show, never seen anything animated or like related to the Care Bears. I just had a Cheer Bear. Yeah, and then when I was older and telling Krista about Cheer Bear and how he was one of my favorite bears, Krista was like, Cheer Bear is a girl? One of the few Care Bears that is a girl? And I was like, what? They're not all boys? And she was like, no. So, which is weird because I knew there was a purple one that my sister had and I knew that one was a girl, but I somehow in my brain just kept thinking Cheer Bear was a boy. So yeah, so this Cheer Bear is the Bride of Frankenstein, but could identify as any gender they want. I would totally be fine with a non-binary Care Bear. It would be adorable. But yes, so I just think this one is so cute. I also have Dracula Tenderheart, which I got because I love Dracula and Krista had Tenderheart. So that's the one we have, but that one is in my office right now because these two were, well, these two were in the bag that I took to the wedding. But I meant to do like a cute photo of them, like set up on a bed or something. I just didn't get the time. So I didn't show them off. So I thought I would show them here. I actually have a book update for you before I read more. So I read a little bit this morning and some last night. And I have like 100 pages left in We Used to Live Here. So there are no chapter numbers, so I'm just gonna say that I'm about 100 pages to the end. There are chapters, like it's broken into chapters. There are chapters and then like interludes that are, like inserted materials. And there are codes in parts of it. So there is a well-known element that has Morse code, certain pages, in those interlude sections actually. The last page of them, they all have a Morse code thing, which I have already deciphered. I just needed to know what it said. I won't tell you because I don't want to spoil it, but you can find it on the internet, I believe. Also, probably in the live show that, ooh, whose live show was that? That was Book Troop. So that would have been Gabby. It's probably in that live show. But what was annoying me is there's another code. So there is an interlude chapter is what I'm going to call it. But it's like someone is writing a paper and they're randomly capitalized words. And I kind of figured that one out, but I feel like I'm missing letters somehow because I wound up with E-E-A-L-L or E-E-L-A-L or something. I wrote it down in my notebook, but it's not a word. And like the rest of it was a word, but that one wasn't. So I don't know what that was, unless it comes up later in the book. I don't know. And then there was this like varying symbols element in that one where they were like chapter breaks, but they were definitely symbols. And I looked up a number of symbol deciphering things and I couldn't figure out what code it is, especially because it even says in a footnote off of it, because someone's like decoding, they're like trying to figure out what this person is talking about because they keep saying a lot of the stuff they're talking about is fake. But they say it looks like 2 different codes. So I don't know what it said. I kept trying. I'm gonna sneeze. No, we avoided it. That's great. Oh gosh. So I couldn't figure that one out and it's bothering me. So if you deciphered all the codes in this, could you tell me what they all meant? I know the Morse code one, but I don't understand the ones in, I typed it on my phone so I don't remember. Hold on, I can find it. Nope, that was a different thing. Hold on, I'll find it. I kind of know where it was because I was on the page for like a million hours. There we go. So it's the codes in doc_A04_hoax. If you know what the capitalized letter ones were supposed to be, that would be great. And if you know what, I don't want to, this isn't really anything spoilery, but if you figured out what these little bits mean, that would be great. Because I tried to look it up on Reddit, because of course there's a Reddit thread for it, but my phone was like, oh, you can't look at that. Like freaked out. And I was like, okay, never mind. So I don't know, it's bothering me. So as a brief synopsis, because I think I already described this book to you, Charlie and Eve, who are a queer couple, have purchased this house, which in all of the like insert materials is called Old House. They purchased this house, and while Eve is home alone with her dog Shiloh, this family of 5 shows up and they're like, hey, the husband, Thomas, is like, I used to live here as a boy. We just wanted to know if we could look at the house for like 15 minutes. So sorry, we were just driving by and it's like a snowstorm and not safe outside. And Eva's like, what are you doing here? She like can't see a car. That is kind of explained, but she's like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like my partner's not home. Could we maybe like, no. And she actually says that her partner Charlie said no because she does that a lot. And then he was like, yeah, fine. And then Eve relents, is like, okay, 15 minutes. But obviously that's not what happens. Like things occur. They wind up not leaving when they say they're going to leave. There is a giant snowstorm happening. And then like weirder things start to happen. Like Eve thinks she's seeing something. Thomas tells her about some events that happened in the house when he was a kid regarding another person is what I'm going to say. And like just odd things. And then something happens where Eve is like, oh, that is eerily similar to what he was talking about and we gotta go. So Eve and Charlie are like, we gotta leave. It's mostly Eve, but then she's like, Charlie, we have to go. So yeah, there's a lot of ominousness. That's not a real word. It is really reminding me of House of Leaves though. Like a lot, which like I wanted to reread House of Leaves because it's been a long time. And when I read House of Leaves the first time, I was trying to read it during like downtime at a job I had where you could like kind of like read or do something if you like didn't have an active project going on. This was a job a while ago. And so I like read it then, but also like I was in an environment where like if someone needed me, I needed to be like ready to go. So I'm sure I was distracted, and House of Leaves is very complicated. And I know it took me like a while to get through it, like just in my downtime. So I do want to reread it. I have a copy. Krista got it for me because she was like, I think you would really like this. And I did really like it, but this is making me want to reread it. So I might add it to the try and reread before the end of the year list because I don't have a lot of books that I like actively need to get to before this year is over. Like I just don't. I have the ones for Halloween-A-Thon. I have a library hold. And I have some books on like Kindle Unlimited I kind of want to read, but I could add it in before the year is out because it's only October and we have 2 more months of the year, which is baffling to think about. Like, how did we get to this point already? This year has been very fast. Anyway, I am really enjoying it. I love a like, can you, like, weird things are happening kind of thing. I don't want to spoil anything because I feel like if I say too much, it'll spoil stuff for you a certain way. And even saying it reminds me of House of Leaves is really just because of the house element. And then the inserted materials, because House of Leaves also has like references to other things, and there's like there's a lot of stuff in House of Leaves, but it's just giving me that same kind of like tone is the wrong word, but it's just reminding me of it. So I'm really enjoying it. During my lunch break, I'm going to try and knock out as much of the rest of it as I can so I can finish it today. The other books that I have planned for this are very short, like Witch Child is very short, and I don't think the Were Geeks one is going to take me very long, and maybe We're Here to Welcome You will come in. If not, I'll read that in the next vlog. I don't even know if that fits with the Halloween-A-Thon prompt, unless I do like match it to your drink instead of what I was going to do. I don't know. I'll figure that out if that comes up, but I am really enjoying it. And yeah, I feel like that is everything. I really wanted to show you my sweatshirt and the Care Bears and talk to you about the book. And yeah. Oh, I did start rewatching Wednesday. Though I'm only on episode 1 because I'm just playing it in the background, and so it's just on. Yeah, that's all I've got for you. So I will probably get some footage of me reading just to give you some fun extra bookish footage, and then that'll be it until I finish this book. And I won't spoil it for you. I'll just give you general ending thoughts. So yeah, I will, well, you'll see me later, but I will be reading. So yeah, there you go. I will officially talk to you at some point later after that clip. Hello, it is a little bit after work. I was so close to done with the book at lunch that I just kind of like holed up and finished it before I headed down for the day. But yes, I have finished We Used to Live Here. The ending in some way did what I thought it might do, which sounds a little odd, but I had this like vague feeling that a certain thing would happen, and sort of it did. I love the sort of epilogue moment, so I think it's a really good time. I also really think if you like this, you should, if you've been afraid to read it, attempt to read House of Leaves. I know it's huge, I know it's massive, but it is like akin to this book. Just longer and slightly more convoluted in how you have to read it. But I had a really good time with this one. I liked the couple. I am so intrigued by that ending because it alludes to, sorry, my nose is itchy. It alludes to an answer kind of. Because they talk about certain things, there's an explanation of the house at a certain point, and it was just a fun time. I really enjoyed it. So this will be, I have my little tiny, oh, I threw my pen on the floor. That's what happens when you record one-handed. So I will be crossing this off for, looking at my notes. This is definitely The Night He Came Home, house on the cover. We Used to Live Here. So I'll be crossing that off, which will mean I will have completed 1, 2, 3, 17 prompts for this. Those were not all books. Some of them were movies. So I did not read like a bajillion books, but I read some books. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna go hang out with the dogs. But yeah, I just wanted to fill you in on my thoughts. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I haven't decided. I have Witch Child, which is gonna be very short. And that Were Geeks one. I might do Were Geeks next because I think it'll take me a little bit longer. And then move on to Witch Child. They're next to me, that's why I'm looking over there, but I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later when I have more W-titled books to talk to you about. It's so weird that this happened. This happened another time to me once. I think I did all M's and it was totally an accident. Like I just had books that all had M's at the start of the title. But yeah, so I'll fill you in. Highly recommend We Used to Live Here. It was a fun time. I'm really hoping We Came to Welcome You comes in because Jordaline just talked about it in her most recent video today. And she mentioned something about the cover and I was like, oh, I didn't even see that. So fingers crossed my library gets it in this week. That'd be great. Or like really early next week. Love to read it before the month is out. But I will go talk to you about more W-titled things soon. Hello. I am making coffee, which is why Salem is up here, because I'm making coffee. She loves to sit here while I'm using the coffee machine. So I have a book update for you. I started Where Geeks Save Wisconsin. Sorry, I almost hit myself in the eye, or I thought I was going to. The angle is just not great. But started this yesterday while Krista was at court. I don't like it. I don't like it. So the setup and the back of the book is just not, I'm not gonna say not correct, but it is very different than what I anticipated. So in this, actually, let me go put cold foam on my coffee and then we'll get into this. We'll just hold you right over here. Behold the kitchen. I have cold foam. Yes, it's hot coffee, but I'm using cold foam. It is Maleficent coffee though. And I think the Maleficent coffee tastes like banana bread. So that's what we're doing. There's that. Thin. And I'm not using the Wednesday cup today. I'm actually using this guy. You can kind of see him. There you go. I really need to put this back in the fridge. But, okay, so the book. Can I sit you up here to save my hand? Let me turn this off. Sorry, I know the angle is terrible, but I have a cat on me, so what do you expect? Oh, you're too high. But there we go, that'll work. So, in this story, Nero is the alpha of a team of werewolves who work for Wolf Inc. and they fight bad things like demons, monsters, blah, blah, blah. Then his entire team in the first chapter is killed. Like the whole team. And it has to do with like plasma magic fire. It's very weird. And I'm just telling you this because I feel like it's a better setup. He makes a deal with a fairy who like owes him a favor. And the fairy's like, oh, she's gonna jump. Are you jumping? There you go. He makes a deal with his fairy and he's like, give me however much time I can. I'll figure out how to save my team by going back in time somehow. Whatever. It's a very badly worded deal and it's with the fae. So like, it's just a bad deal all around. Oh, Goose is down here. That's why she jumped down. Hi, Goose. Good Lord. I'm gonna try and take a sip of this because I have a lot to do today. So I'm gonna fill you in and then I'm going into work early actually. Delightful. Okay, coffee going down. Also, there it is. Of course there's a cat here. Got it. Don't know what to do with it now, but got it. There we go. Haha. Okay, so they decide, and this is so weird. They go back to Wolfink, he explains what happened, and they're like, we need to recruit geeks, which is the weirdest thing. So like, we need people who can research this magical fire stuff. It doesn't quite make sense. And then it turns out they have like a list of people who will at some point turn into werewolves, but they just need to activate them. And they're like, they'll be activated at some point, like the gene will take over, or the curse, or the whatever. And, oh my good Lord. They activate our other main character, Josh, in the middle of a Comic-Con, and they're like, oh, it was totally safe and confined. Like, what? You turned him into a werewolf in the middle of a crowd of people. I was like, I don't understand. So he turns into a wolf, and I'm like, it just, you know that they're both werewolves. That's the setup. We're at a secret facility where Josh has to do all this research, and Nero is supposed to train him to control his wolf. But because, and I did not think about this, I just was like, oh, this is probably a cute setup book where we like start the relationship. No. They decide that Josh, and by they I mean the author, has decided that for Josh to come back to his human physical body after he's been a wolf, he needs to have physical contact. And that physical contact can't just be like a hug or like giving him like a massage. No, no, no. The man needs to come to orgasm, which just, to me as the reader, was a shock. And then I had to read one of my like least favorite sets of words in a book. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it starts with the letter P and it has the letter C in it and it's like a hyphenate. I think you can guess. And there's just like, I have read steamy male romance books. Like I have read them. The sex scenes I just do not like. So like when they show up, my brain is like, oh, I don't want this. And it has nothing to do really with the guys because they are attracted to each other. But like the sex is just written in a way that feels gross. I don't like it. So I only have like 54 pages left, I think. Maybe more than that. Actually, it's over here. I'm not gonna get it. I have somewhere between 150 pages left. What did you do? The cat's knocked something over. Between 150 pages left. Somewhere in that range. I'm gonna finish it because I have no idea how they're gonna get back to this whole like, we have to fix the plasma fire and I'm gonna save my friends. Which sounds mean the way I said it, but like, I just feel like it doesn't, like, it's just weird because this is the first book in apparently a trilogy and I don't quite understand what we're setting up here, except that Nero and Josh have a lot of sex because Josh is very into him and Josh needs to control his wolf and he can only do it with sex. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. I can't, I'm not enjoying it. And again, I just want to finish it because I'm trying to figure out how this plot is even going to work. Like, I'm just like, how does this work? What is happening? So yeah, so then I will finish this at some point, not during the next few minutes, but I might try and read after lunch. We have a thing we have to go to tonight. It's like a retirement party thingy. So we have that, so I won't be reading tonight, but I'm gonna finish it before too long because I just want it done. And then I'm gonna read Witch Child, which will be fun and short. But like, I remember reading it as a kid, so I'm like looking forward to reading it again. But yeah, I'm just not enjoying this. And I don't know that I mean, maybe if you just like more want sex scenes than like anything else, because I just don't feel like the plot is really doing it for me, or the sex scenes. Maybe you would like it. Like, I'm not saying don't read it. I'm just saying I am not having a good time. And it's the sex scenes. The sex scenes are completely taking me out of it. And again, I have read male sex scenes that were well written and I thought they were good. And I just don't know why. I'm just like, what is going on? Why am I supposed to care? Also, they said the thing I don't like. And as soon as they said it, I was like, no, I'm gonna hate all the sex scenes because you've given me the ick. Yeah, but I gotta go because I need to get into work early. to work on this very big thing that has to go out today. So I'm gonna go do that. And yeah, I'll check in at some point. I don't know when. Oh, cats are running around. But I'm gonna go. So I'll talk to you later. And I'm gonna drink more coffee out of my Mickey mug because he's cute and I need caffeine. Bye. Hello, I am here. It is during my lunch break. I have finished this. I did want to know how they made it work. And it was a choice. It was very convenient. So like, I knew this was gonna come into it and they mentioned it at the beginning. So I told you it's like a flame. Like the bad thing is a flame that Nero needs Josh to be able to like stop. And in the chapter that introduces Josh, he has this like fabric inside of a wizard costume he's wearing. And the fabric is a special like government fabric that repels fire. So what is happening outside? There's a car with a really bad engine parked by my house. But there's this like green fabric, repels fire. And I was like, okay, that's totally gonna come into it. And it does. We also contend with the fairy deal in a very like zip, zap, zap, done like moment. Like it is handled very quickly. So it's all just like very fast. And what's, okay, so this is what's strange to me. So all the monsters are like in Wisconsin for some reason, but they train in Michigan. Like we're in Michigan for Hunger the Book, briefly in Indianapolis, and then in Wisconsin like twice. Which I understand Where Geeks Save Wisconsin is better than Where Geeks Save Michigan, I guess. But also like the next book, because I looked this up, is tied to Wisconsin again. But are they still training in Michigan? Because their facility is in Michigan. I don't know. I'm not going to read any more of these. I'm sorry. It is a trilogy. There are 3 of them. She's written a ton of different series. Some paranormal, some not. She has like a werebear series, which is just fun to say. But she's not really, they're not for me. I'm very sorry. She mostly does either, it looks like gay romance or like gay male romance or straight male-female romance. She hasn't done any like sapphic stuff that I could tell, which is fine. I'm just like I'm not motivated to keep reading about Nero and Josh. And I'm very sorry. Funnily enough, at the start of this book, there is a Wednesday Addams reference. So look at that. I am keeping in theme because Witch Child involves a witch child. And like that ties into the whole Goody Addams plot of the show. So excluding the fact that We Used to Live Here doesn't actually tie into Wednesday in any capacity. It really doesn't, except it's eerie. The other 2 do. So look at me go. So yeah, I just thought I would fill you in because I'm done. I just don't really want to, I feel bad because it's like signed, though I did only get it was like 50 cents. But like, I kind of see why someone donated it to the library, because I feel like you'd have to like very particular things to really be into this. Like you need to like supernatural / paranormal romance, and you have to be very into sex happening a lot in a not very long book. And those sex scenes are curious occasionally. But I finished it. This counted for, oh, I have things over here. Hold on. Where did I put it? Oh, it's hiding. My goodness. Sorry. I had to move a bunch of stuff around on my desk and I could not find my little handbook for the recently deceased. But this counted for Rocky Horror Picture Show because it was a certain number. There it is. Forward title. Because I told you I counted Where and Geek separately. So that means I have completed, and I'm not like trying to complete all of these, but oddly enough, I have completed 18. That has included books and movies. I think I mentioned that already. So the next one will be Witch Child for Child's Play. And then, yeah. So the only ones I don't have something set for are Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Clown or Carnival, Critters, Creature, Feature, or Animal Attack, and Cemetery Man, which is Graveyard or Tombstone, and Mothman, which is Cryptid. So we'll see. Maybe I'll finish some of these. I have some Kindle Unlimited books like floating around that I might read. It'd be fun to complete all the prompts. So we'll see what I can do with some random reading choices at a later date. But I finished this one. Gonna move on to Witch Child. And yeah. Oh gosh, that's about to knock over my coffee. I'm gonna go before things fall over. Also, we don't have that thing tonight. I guess it got rescheduled kind of last minute. But we're gonna do something else. And I'm gonna keep you surprised about something else. Because I think we're still going. But we should be going. And then we have a thing tomorrow. So there's fun stuff that you're going to see besides like reading and my house. So yeah, I will talk to you later when I have some form of update, be it book or event or show thing. I might finish Wednesday during work today. This is a rewatch. It's been fun having it on since I got that notebook and the Nightshade Society. And also just like this guy. He's on my desk now. I love this. I love Thing. I loved Thing as a kid. Like this is unrelated to the Wednesday series. I mean, it's related in that Thing is in both. But I was obsessed with the Addams Family movies, the ones with Christina Ricci as Wednesday. I was obsessed with those as a kid. And I always like wanted a Thing. Like I just thought Thing was so cool. And so I'm glad that Wednesday exists and that I could get a Thing that moves. He's not moving right now. He's just chilling on my desk, but he's like right there and it's very fun for me. Just lots of childhood joy occurring because I now have a Thing. But I'm gonna go. I have things to do. That's it. I know I said a bunch of times. I was trying to think if there's anything else, but I need to go. So I will talk to you later, or at least see you later. Hi, super quick update. Finished Wednesday. Totally realized it works for creature feature because the hide is the creature. So that takes out creature feature, which was one of the prompts I didn't have something for, and I found something else. So you know how we're doing books that only, like things with W in the title for this. I did not say it included watches because I talked about American Horror Stories. Well, I found a movie that involves a cryptid called Willow Creek, and it is on Peacock. And this is the description. It is a couple camping in the California woods tries to capture firsthand evidence of Bigfoot's existence and finds themselves face to face with a terrifying evil. So that is going to be my watch for later in the day. It is like an hour and 19 minutes. So that will cross off cryptid, which means that I would have even fewer prompts that I need to do. I also figured out one for graveyard / tombstone. So that is a loud truck. I gotta go. But I will tell you that later. I figured out other things. I'll talk to you in a bit. But yeah, so gonna watch Willow Creek later. But I have things to do. This is just like a very fast update. Talk to you later. So I told you that we were doing something, and I don't remember if I actually told you what it was or if I said it was going to be a surprise, but we're at a haunted hayride / haunted house. We did the haunted hayride last year. They added the house this year, and neither one of us has ever done a haunted house before. Krista did a haunted woods thingy.
That went over really well.
She punched a clown. Yeah.
Do it again.
She's actually banned from that location. But we did this hayride last year, but it rained. So like we did it, they still ran it, but it was raining. And we did a haunted hayride in 20...
Harrisville. Yeah, in Harrisville.
And they used to be a hayride where they grabbed people, and like Krista had been on it before with her friend, and she was like, oh, it's terrifying, da da da. And we got there, and because they were taking certain precautions, didn't tell anyone that. Yeah. They literally did nothing. Like you couldn't see them.
Like, you
couldn't
could fall asleep on it.
Like you could hear chainsaw noises and see like some shadowy shapes, but no one was close enough even remotely that we could tell. And I was like, but we're all smashed into this hayride. Like at this point, it doesn't matter. Like I've been exposed to everyone in my hayride, but whatever. This one was pretty creepy last year, but we were very distracted by a woman who was basically having a panic attack the entire time. Plus it was raining. And so I was doing a lot of like, is she okay? Like, should I be worried about this woman? And then a child dressed as Art the Clown tried to scare me, but his mouth didn't move because it was a mask. And also he was less than 5 feet tall. So I tried not to laugh because while Art is terrifying, a child dressed as Art the Clown is not as terrifying. But yeah, so we're doing that. We are gonna go get tickets. We're gonna go get food truck food. And so you can technically film on the hayride, but I'm afraid that an actor, because they get really close to you, would hit the camera, which would not be their fault. Like, it's dark.
Like hit the outside.
Yeah, and I don't want to like drop the camera or anything, so it's gonna be safely in my backpack, and we'll tell you afterward how it went.
People brought their dog. You're not supposed to bring your dog.
No, you are not. They actually said that dogs can't be here because of scary stuff. There's even a sign. But yeah,
people don't listen.
They really don't. But we're gonna go get food and tickets. and we'll let you know how everything goes.
Oh, yeah, I meant to say something. So if you watched the last video, during part of it, I was very quiet and not looking at the camera. I was very angry about how Chloe was treated. Chloe was already like traumatized and abused by a trainer that we left her with the very first time we ever left her with a stranger. And then these people knew that, and then they still treated her the way they did. And she was literally shaking.
Yeah, this is from the last video where we talked about boarding our dogs, which we're never doing there again.
She had nightmares, she was shaking.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just no excuse for it.
No.
So I get very angry, and then I get quiet.
No, it's understandable. But yeah, they're home. They've had outs and stuff. They're good. And then the next time we go out of town, we have a plan for a friend of ours to stay with them, which we normally try and do, but no one was available. Like, literally no one was in town.
And it's not like we'd be like, hey, William, change the date
of your wedding. Or let us bring many dogs, which could not have happened. Like, no location we went to would have allowed that many dogs. But yeah, so we're going to go. Oh, shoot. I watched that Willow Creek movie where that couple looks for Bigfoot, and it was not good. It was trying to be Blair Witch, but it was really slow and then mostly boring. And at the very end, there's like a mostly naked woman who I think is supposed to be the woman from the Missing poster, which makes me think the Bigfoots were taking human brides. I don't know. It's very weird. I did not like it. I would not recommend. But yeah, we're gonna go do the thing. They're prepping the haunted hayride right now. There's purple lights and scary stuffs. But we gotta go. So we will give you a recap on the haunted hayride and the haunted house when we get done. Hello, you're set up in the kitchen. This is going to be very quick. I got a hat. It says North Country Nightmares, and Krista got a shirt that we're going to share. She's blowing her nose. We're both cold. It was cold outside. So the front says North Country Nightmares, and then the back is this giant pumpkin guy. It's very cool. Anyway, that's the merch. Did you come this way? What were your thoughts?
It was good. Scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
They upped their game.
They did. So the haunted house was creepy. We got followed very closely by 2 different people. Very creepy. Like, so close that they were almost touching us, even though they were like, no one's gonna touch you. It was a haunted...
Someone accidentally touched me.
I was gonna say, did someone bump into you? Yeah. They were trying to follow, and it was like, not super dark, which was good. Like, you could see where you were going. But it was still dark in some spots, like... And, like, sometimes we had to stop because it had those, like, cloth/plastic hang-down things, and I couldn't get them to part. Like, they wouldn't move correctly. But it was creepy. We got yelled at and followed, and it was good. And then the hayride was wild. Like, it was way different than last year. A lot of lights, a lot of sounds. They, like, set off poppers, like the firework thing. They shot off confetti. We drove into a tunnel that went completely black while they banged on the side. And okay, so during that, they were banging on the side. It was super loud. So I like put my head down, but apparently the guy dressed as Freddy Krueger thought that I was hiding from him, because Krista was like, no, he thought you were scared of him.
So he's not allowed to touch her, so her head's down, and he
was like right in front of me.
And he was doing this with his finger. Yeah. Which she didn't know because her eyes were closed.
Because I couldn't see.
Like a knock, but he knew he couldn't touch her, so he just...
Yeah, he was just, like, doing stuff. But, like, I had my head down, and Krista was like, were you scared? Like, and I was like, no, I really like Freddy Krueger, but it was so loud. And so, like, the lights would go completely off, and then they would, like, bring them back up really fast. And so, like, I don't really like flashing lights, and there were a ton of flashing lights that I couldn't avoid. And I was like, great, I'm gonna have flashing lights, and then really loud sounds, and then like a big light switch, and then my I was just afraid I was gonna get like a headache.
Decided to stand and standing water.
Oh yeah, the cats
didn't need to.
Flipped over their water bowl, and Bane is mad because he didn't want to move while Krista was trying to clean it up when we got home. But it was really good, and I'm actually very glad that Freddy Krueger scared me, because I literally opened my eyes and he was just like that, like just leaning into my face, and I went, oh, really loud. But I love Freddy Krueger, so it was very fun. But no, it was good. It was creepy. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of sounds. They did clowns and cannibals wearing pig heads and other things. They did a Jason section, but they got a different Jason this year, and he did not look like Jason. It was really weird. But overall, it was really fun. We had a good time. We also had really good food. We had pulled pork loaded french fries. Those were delicious. And then we had these like apple fritters, but it was basically like fried apple pie filling. It was delicious. But it was a very fun evening. We now have a shirt and a hat. I'm gonna wear this tomorrow to our other thing we're doing. But very quickly, before we go upstairs to bed where we will drink, Krista's gonna have red wine. And I'm going to have this apple bombshell caramel apple fall spice hard cider. We are going to try this 1911 candy corn vodka that I have been looking for months. Our liquor store had it. And so we're going to do tiny shots, not even doing a full shot, because neither one of us is a huge fan of vodka. So, doing a tiny shot. The only reason I got this is candy corn, there we go, is my favorite of 1911's hard ciders. But no one has their hard cider this year. They think maybe it's only at the distillery, but a person, yeah, the woman working, she said that their person from there is coming on Monday, so she would ask. And then she was like, if you want, like, if it's your favorite, do you want me to just say that you want a case? Because I think she can order a case from the distributor, and then she could just give it to me. But I don't know. That would be nice. I feel like we'd drink a case.
You definitely would.
Yes. All right. Oh my. Oh, this just smells like vodka. Oh boy. Teeny.
Yep, no, it's just straight up.
Teeny. Those, not even like a real shot.
That's good.
Yep. Oh, it's orange-ish. Teeny.
My phone is vibrating.
Teeny. Oh, you can have this one. I poured less into Captain Marvel. These are ancient shot glasses. These are from...
William and Caroline are back home.
Oh!
Phil was very excited to see us and very upset that we were gone for so long.
Oh.
She is, however, joyfully playing with the new toy we picked up for her. So we're back in her good graces.
There you go. They just got back from their weekend honeymoon?
No, they've been gone.
Oh my god,
Monday.
they've been gone for a week.
Yeah.
This week, like, really went by. Okay. Krista's typing. Phil is their cat. Her full name is Phyllis from, like, The Office. And she's a little black cat. She's very cute. She doesn't like a lot of people. She likes Krista. And she loves Mary. Alright. Tiny. I poured less in that one. There's some on the side, though, so be careful.
Oh!
That's...
It tastes like candy corn at the end.
It does.
After it burns your esophagus, you taste candy corn.
It did it. It is the thing it says it is.
Oh, whoo! Oh, God.
Oh, God. We don't do shots. We've done shots, what?
What can you make with that that's not going to kill us?
I bet
it definitely tastes like
candy corn
at the end.
Yeah, it has candy corn.
After your
as in,
esophagus has been burnt.
If they don't have it on the actual
They don't
bottle,
have any,
I bet their website has something. Or their Instagram.
So I will say,
it did it.
congratulations.
Sorry, it's really sticky.
In fact,
tastes like candy corn.
Candy corn.
So
Again,
it did it.
At the end, not the beginning.
Yeah, no, the beginning is just vodka.
It's just vodka.
But yeah, I will find a drink and I will share it at some point when I figure that out. But it does taste like it's supposed to. So it wins. Ooh, it might be good in cream soda.
I think I drank our only one today.
I know, there's just an aside. We'll figure it out. But we're gonna go because we need to get the pups upstairs. I think we're gonna watch Woman of the Hour. The Anna Kendrick serial killer. I forget which one it is. Like which serial killer. I don't remember.
The dating show.
Yeah, the dating game killer. He has a real name. Doesn't matter. He's a bad guy. But yeah, so we're gonna watch that. So you'll learn about that at some point too. I think that's it. So we'll talk to you later. Good night.
Did you tell them our exciting news? I don't think you told them our exciting news.
Oh, no, I haven't told them a lot of things. I'll probably tell you in detail closer because it's far out enough. Krista has really wanted to take our dog Chloe to be trained by Tom Davis, who is a famous dog trainer. Like, he's been on the internet. He does a lot of interviews. But he's having like an open training call for working breed dogs, right? Any dogs.
Any dogs.
And we managed to get a ticket so that Chloe can train with him in like a 2-day intensive where like Krista and technically also me, because you can bring a guest, will work with him to work with Chloe. But Krista will do more of the like one-on-one with him stuff because some of it doesn't involve Chloe being at the facility, and I will be with Chloe not at the facility on those days or in the car as needed. But I will also be learning. But Krista's very, very excited. She's wanted to train and do something with Tom Davis for years. And she happened to get an email that they're doing something at his actual location and not like out in the world, and his actual training location is not ridiculously far from us. So we're doing that, but it's not for a while. So
it sold out like immediately after we got a response.
Yeah, so we're good. We got the thing. We also have a hotel booked, but I will talk to you more about it when we're actually closer, because I'm not telling you when it is, so you don't know when we're not home. Ha! Not that I don't trust all of you, but also the internet is a scary place. But yeah, so we'll be doing that in a date in the future. But yes, so now we're gonna go because we really need to change and get to bed, and I need to open this wine for Krista to get this vodka taste out of her mouth, and I need to drink this cider to get this vodka taste out of my mouth. Ooh, it might be good with cider. Anyway, aside, I'm just thinking in general, I'm gonna go because we need to get ready for bed because we'll probably be up early to take out the pups, but then we're going back to sleep because we're tired people, and then we have a cool thing that we're doing. So yes, talk to you later. Actually talk. It was cute and scenic, and now some of the trees are dead. Let me try and flip the camera. This is Krista. She is driving. That is Kira. I think you can kind of see her in shadow. And then there's me. It's adjusting. There we go. We are headed to Punkin Chunkin in Clayton. I am wearing a very pumpkin-y outfit and my North Country Nightmares hat from yesterday. And I'm drinking pumpkin spice coffee from Stewart's. Krista has a Voodoo Mountain Dew. She's driving, so she's paying attention because traffic is gonna get wild because this is like a big deal event for the area. And then we brought Kira, and we only brought one dog because it's going to be hectic. And also, Kira is obsessed with interacting with people. Like, she has the world's biggest social battery, and she will have the best time. But it would be a little difficult to have her and another one of the dogs because Chloe and Bruni, their bicyclist, don't like being around a ton of people all at once. She may bark at this bicyclist, FYI. Oh no, she didn't even notice. You just want to be on camera now? But yeah, so they are fine with people, like they are well behaved, but people try and pet Chloe when we're not paying attention because she's really cute and it stresses her out. And Bruni is just a very anxious dog, and so being in public stresses him out. So they're not coming to this. Chloe will be going to the thing in December that I mentioned, and she'll probably do some other stuff before then. Yeah. It's just like, we can't do it where we know that people are going to be doing things that we can't control, and this is a lot of people. So Kira will be fine, like she'll be whatever. She's had the cat in the hat try and interact with her. She's had to deal with alpacas or llamas. She had a monster truck drive behind her for like very slowly for numerous feet, and she was fine. So she is better at handling unexpected surprises. So that's why she's coming to this. Also, it will wear her out tremendously, and she will be very, very happy. So yeah, so we're doing that, and I'll try and film some, but we'll also have Kira. So
we watched the Anna Kendrick thing.
Oh right, we watched Woman of the Hour. It was very well directed. She acted well in it.
Creepy.
Yeah, it was very creepy, but it was good. So I would suggest it. It does not like highlight Alcala like a lot of serial killer stuff does. It focuses more on like women and how he could have, like, and how if events had been done differently, and if men had believed women sooner, he probably would have been caught much sooner. Yeah, it was good. But oh, Kira's moving around. But we're gonna go because we're almost to Clayton and we gotta find parking. So I'll try and show you what I can while we have Akira, and also there are lots of people. So yeah, talk to you at Punkin Chunkin. Hello. Kira is very sleepy. It's very shadowy back there, but you might be able to see her. Krista is driving, as per usual. But we are headed back from Punkin Chunkin, and I saw one very small pumpkin go into the water?
St. Lawrence River.
Yes. But Krista did not see any, because there's a good reason for this. She went to go see if she could get us fries, but yeah, there were no fries, and the area we were in, so it was pretty vacant when Krista got the spot so we could eat, because we got lobster rolls from this truck booth thing. But then it started filling in because we were by the water, and then it got so congested that Krista like couldn't get back. But she kept trying to call me, but I couldn't get to my phone. So we actually wound up leaving at that point because it was just getting too congested. And it was gonna get really hard to get in and out of anywhere. But we stayed for about an hour. Kira had a great time. She met a lot of people. People tried to offer her alcohol because she was sniffing their bottles, but she gave kisses, she said hi to kids, she let people give her like weird pats on the head. So many things. Hugs. Yeah, many things occurred. She was having a great time. She got invited to Hawaii. She's not making that trip. I don't think we could afford to send Akira to Hawaii. No. But she was invited. The only annoying thing is anytime you go to an event like this, people bring dogs that are not good in public. So while we were in line, we were on either side of her to keep anyone from like bumping into her or anything. And someone's very tiny dog leapt at her face, and I had to block the dog with my leg, and then everyone thought the dog bit me. Thankfully he did not, but he bounced off of me. Like his nails went into my leg and he bounced off. Krista had to keep a woman's not controlled at all big Labrador off Kira because it tried to pull directly into her, like it was running at her from across the street. And so she like put her whole body in between her and Kira, or the Labrador and Kira, and so Kira was fine. And then someone like really wanted Kira to meet their Frenchie and like wouldn't move the dog, like kept giving the dog more and more leash so it could get closer and closer to Kira. And Kira was fine, like she said hi, and then the dog like was making weird sounds and like doing some very interesting things with its body, and so Kira made like a tiny growl sound and tried to back up, and then it came forward at her very quickly, and then Krista just like yanked Kira behind her so that no one could touch her, and we were like, okay, we're done, please leave. So yeah, people just bring dogs that aren't good with other dogs, even though you know dogs are going to be there, and like Kira is good with other dogs, which is why we brought her. Yeah, like we wouldn't bring Chloe because she gets stressed out and she does not like when other dogs like rush at her. Kira just tries to like avoid them, like she'll try and get back. Like she went behind Krista when the little dog jumped at her, and I like walked in front of Kira so no one could, like, so the little dog wouldn't get at her face, but it was going for her face, like it very actively, like everyone in the line thought it was going to bite her. They even like asked us if she got bit or I got bit. So yeah, just like don't bring your dogs. Also don't bring puppies that definitely don't have all their shots. Right. I saw a lot of that, and like even if you don't have a dog, you should know this. If you see a very young puppy, they have not gotten all their shots and they are at risk for parvo just from touching the sidewalk, because puppies will pick up things on their paws. It's like a baby, like a human baby. Like you shouldn't bring young infants to things. If there are a lot of people, if they haven't like built up immunities to certain things, it's just impossible, like they will get sick. And so the same thing happens for puppies, and we saw so many little like golden labs, golden retrievers that were way too young. Like, yeah. If you remember, we brought Kira and Parker for socialization to Lowe's, but they never stepped on the ground. I had a blanket and they were in the cart on leashes. And that was because they hadn't gotten all of their puppy shots yet. And you don't get all your shots until you hit a year old. So you really, like if you're gonna socialize, you should just like do it in a very specific environment, just so the baby slash, I mean the puppy, is not coming in contact with things that you have not vaccinated them for. But yeah, so these people brought puppies, which is, again, like if they've had their shots, it's fine, but like you can't, like a puppy can get very sick from going out and not having all its vaccines. So yeah, so that's fun. That's always like, because we were like, oh, that puppy's so cute, and I was like, that puppy should not be outside right now. Like, not here, there's too many people. And dogs. The other issue is like people bring their unvaccinated dogs, so then your dog is at greater risk. Kira's had all of her shots. She also says hi. But we didn't really eat anything except the very expensive but not very good lobster rolls. So we're gonna go get Chipotle, I think, and then head home and get Kira out of her sweatshirt because it was actually really hot. So we're gonna go. Kira says goodbye. Say goodbye to the vlog. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Mixed now. Hello. We're in the car. This is gonna be really quick. By the light of the haunted hayride. This is the potion macchiato from Dunkin. It's really good. It's marshmallow ube. And then, very quickly, because we're gonna get out of the car. Yes, I know it's dark. Do I know if you'll be able to see these? No, you can't. Oh, kind of. I'll just get this guy. Little spider donuts. Little spider donuts. You'll see them better when we actually try them, but they're little spider guys. And I think they are ube flavored. I think.
Yes.
That unfocused real bad. But we're back at the haunted hayride for food. So we're gonna go do that. And we'll talk to you later. Hello! We brought it home. It was super, super busy tonight. So these are apple pie logs. And these are chili cheese fries from the Humble Palace, which is a bright red food truck. But yeah, we got the food and then we got out because apparently Saturday night is a way busier night than Friday night. So we're gonna drink our coffees and eat our foods. Chloe is stalking a cat, but there you go, that's our night. So we're gonna go because the cats have gone mad. All right, bye for now. Hello, my hair is very flat from wearing a hat 2 days in a row. I'm in the kitchen. I am prepping the oven to make potato skins. It is pretty late. It's like close to 7, after 7. We didn't really do anything. So Krista actually had to work this morning, but she felt really sick like the whole time she was at court. And so she was still not feeling well when she got back. So she actually wound up just having to have someone cover her shift tonight because she feels so bad. We've been in bed because I've been pretty tired. I've kind of had an upset stomach since yesterday. And then Krista has also been feeling kind of blah, but for different reasons. I think my body didn't react well to the lobster roll we got yesterday at Punkin Chunkin. I just did not feel well after we had it. We got Chipotle and I barely ate any. I kind of picked at it and I was like, I'll just eat it for lunch tomorrow, no problem. And then we went and got all that food. So I got the fries that I showed you and the apple pie logs, and I ate the logs, but I was like, my stomach doesn't feel great, so I'm really just gonna eat those. And we did get coffees, but we didn't wind up eating those donuts. So we drank the coffees, which may or may not have been a good idea. I don't know. I drink coffee even when I don't feel well, so I don't know. But I just did not feel great throughout the night. And then I didn't really feel well this morning, and I finally was like, okay, it's whatever, maybe I feel better. It just was gross. So we just sort of rested, and I do actually feel better, thankfully. I was able to eat the rest of my Chipotle, which was a positive. I was able to eat the donut, also a positive. And now we're making potato skins because there's football tonight. We were gonna try and watch football anyway. But since Krista has been resting, she's just gonna hole up on the couch or possibly in the bedroom, I'm not even sure. And we'll just have the game on and eat. This is gonna act as dinner, I think. But yeah, that's really it. She's just she's really tired and her stomach's still pretty upset. So nothing too exciting. I caught up on YouTube stuff. I haven't watched Gavin's Fear Street vlog yet. That I'm saving for, it's really long. So I'm saving it for work tomorrow because I can play it in the background while I'm doing stuff. And then I did have a book update. So the book update is that I am on my final read for this vlog. I'm reading Witch Child, which, okay, I would promise you that I read this. When did this come out? Hold on. Yeah, 2002. So I definitely read this when I was 12, 13. Also, I'm themed, so not with the Beetlejuice stuff. But I don't know if you can see all of it. It says Destination Salem 1692, and then try and stand so you can see it. The back of it lists the Witch Trials folks. So if it's with the theme of this, sorry, I'm wildly out of frame now. But I know I read this when it came out, close to when it came out. I want to say really when I was 12 or 13. The opening of this is just sad. So you already know that she winds up in the colonies, basically. So really she's gonna wind up in Salem, I believe. Could be wrong. It's been a minute. But sorry, she's in England and she's being secreted out of the country after her grandmother has been accused of witchcraft. And at the opening of this, they had her grandmother get arrested and tortured and 2 animals die. And I was just oh my God. Which would be historically accurate. It is. It's truly historically accurate that those things would happen. But I had just forgotten that. I was oh my God, I had to have read this when I was young. When it came out. And I was yep, that would make sense. I also read his actual nonfiction books about the Salem Witch Trials way before that. So I would not have been astonished, but I was a little astonished that it was in what I believe is a middle grade read from Scholastic. But I'm not very far. She's on her way to America now. And I forget, they told us the year. I actually think it said, oh, 1659. Yeah, we're definitely getting to Salem in 1692. Couldn't tell you. Because, oh wait, there was a date. Ah! No, maybe not. We might not be making it to that point. Oh, yeah, I might be jumping. I don't know. I saw 1660. So, in the colonies, around witchcrafty times. So I'm very curious to keep reading it because it's been so long I don't really remember it, but I was obsessed with anything Salem Witchcraft Trials, still am. So I'm just like intrigued to reread this. I might read a little while the football game is on, and I'll probably try and read a little before work tomorrow, possibly at lunch, we'll see. I definitely want to finish this tomorrow because I have one audiobook already, two, ooh, I almost knocked over a blender, a second audiobook I need to get. Then, is that it book-wise? I feel like I added a book, but I don't really remember the title. So I have other stuff that I want to get to next week that doesn't start with the letter W. And I have 2 holds in. They're not in yet, but I'm still waiting for 2 holds from the library. So we shall see. But I do want to finish this so I have time to edit because I feel like I have a lot of footage to look back at. So I'd like to get that finished up so I can edit it Tuesday before work is the goal. But I just wanted to tell you that I was reading it, that this is pretty intense for what I think is a middle grade read, because this is in definitely the school, like, Scholastic Book Fair cover, because this totally says this edition is only available for distribution through the school market, which means this is a book fair book. But yeah, so that's really it as an update. What did we even watch? I feel like I don't really have anything. Oh, so this is so random. But because I was talking about American Horror Stories, someone did say that Grotesquerie, I think that's the title, has been good. So I'll probably try and check that out sometime next week. It won't be in this vlog, I don't think. But other Ryan Murphy thing. We've been watching Dr. Odyssey, which is this new show with Joshua Jackson, in which I keep having to explain to Krista that Joshua Jackson will be consistently shirtless because I think Ryan Murphy has a crush on him, which is totally fine. He just, like, male actors in Ryan Murphy productions, I feel like if he finds them attractive, they're shirtless more often. That's just a thought. But the upcoming episode is Halloween week, and I am so excited because I want there to be, like, ghost ship vibes. I just want it to be ghost ship. I'm just very excited. So yes, I think that's it. Anything else, Catherine? Anything else? I think that's it. I really do for right now. I will give you my thoughts on this when I am further in / done, depending. And that's really all I can think of. I'll be watching more Halloween stuff at some point, and I'll have that in vlogs, but we just, like, had stuff to catch up on. We were lounging. I was just watching YouTube, so didn't really get to Halloween movie stuff yet. I really want to do a Halloween-Town marathon, which normally I would have done by now, but I feel like we've been so busy. But yes, that is it for now. I will talk to you later when I have updates on Witch Child, and if I think of anything that I meant to tell you and completely forgot about, because I probably did. So yes, I will talk to you later. Hello. Yes, I have blue light glasses on my head. My workday is about to start. I have a cup of coffee in this very fun cup. The reason I got this is the house is very fun, and then there's like these little spider guys that are ridged. Sorry, I was like kind of out of frame. My right eye is bothering me a little today. Sometimes it gets like super dry, or I think sometimes like makeup gets into it, even though I've really only been wearing eyeliner because it has been bothering me off and on. But yeah, so I'm not wearing makeup today. I'm wearing blue light glasses, or I will be for work. But I wanted to fill you in on some stuff. So I read some of Witch Child last night and this morning before I started work for the day. I am on, so this doesn't have chapters. It has sections, and then each, I mean, I guess it does. So like the journal entries are, or diary entries are labeled with a number. So I'm on diary entry 62, which is November 1659. But then the book itself is broken into chapters. So we have followed Mary from England to the New World. So we were on the boat for a really long time. We got to Salem. So we landed in Salem. But they're not staying in Salem. So these Puritans that she's with moved on to another settlement. And I am trying to remember when Roanoke occurs. So just, I'm keeping that in mind for myself. But we've gotten that. We've been introduced to a character who's an apothecary. We have met a widowed woman who is kind of taking care of Mary, and we've established some things about Mary involving some stuff that she can do. We had her explain that she had a vision at a certain point of a character, and saw their entire life unfold in her mind. She has found plants. She has befriended a native person named Blue Jay? I'm not gonna remember now. I think it's Jaybird. Jaybird. I'm sorry. I've been reading kind of fast because it's a middle grade YA read. So I'm sorry. They also mentioned like the British name or the name in the old world for the bird, and then she used the new world word and then sorry. But she has met some of the native inhabitants of the area, and what I really am enjoying about this book is it's not shying away from the fact that people who came to the New World did actually cause irreparable damage to the existing populations there. Mary was told about the death of entire groups of people, how it didn't matter if the people, if those new settlers left, but if they left things behind, that made people sick. A mention of furs is there, and that was something that happened. Certain things like pox were carried on furs and blankets, and those were gifted or left behind, and then the native populations would have them, and then they would get sick. And because those diseases don't exist in America at this point, they have no way to survive them. And they don't have the means to create medicine for them because they don't know what it is. So it's not shying away from telling you these people are not great. And Mary is also these people are really not great. They don't trust her. They don't like that she's traveling alone. Technically, Martha took her in as a traveling companion, but they do not like her. They think it's strange that she goes into the woods. She's been spotted going to the woods. Thankfully, no one has noticed her being in the woods in boys' clothing. But it's just a lot of people don't trust her. People think there's something weird about her, and she's actually been told she cannot live where she was living because it is strange. And then what's frustrating is they know she can write. And one of the persons, it's not a person, one of the men who actually might be a person, whatever, one of the religious, the heads of their house of worship, he was actually having her write things for him while he was on the ship because he was very, very seasick and refused to take any herbs or anything from the apothecary. He was like, no, this is God trying me. So they knew she could write, and now suddenly everyone's it's very strange that she writes. And I'm like, of course you're saying that now. So it is showing a lot of how different people behave. Now again, they are not in Salem, which is actually making me think that this might be Roanoke. And I had forgotten that because I remember learning about Roanoke as a kid and being that is horrifying. Also, they probably just died. So if you don't know, they even did an American Horror Story season about this, which I might rewatch at some point because it's been a long time. But at a certain point, I am going to point out to you now, I'm horrible with dates, even though I went to school for history. I also mostly did European history, primarily English history. So I know things, but in very, it's not going to help me explain dates to you, or I'm not going to remember when Roanoke was, and I'm not going to Google it because I feel like that's what we're building up to. So there was a group of settlers in the New England colonies area who decided they wanted to go establish their own settlement. And that settlement was Roanoke. And frighteningly, the entire group of people at Roanoke just disappear. To my knowledge, they still have not found enough bodies to equate to everyone who was missing, if they found any at all. It's been a long time since I looked this up. But basically, it was a missing settlement. They just vanished. And the only thing left behind was the carving of the word Roanoke on a tree. I also think this shows up in a Stephen King novel because he used it for something. But the idea is the settlement just disappeared. Now, Roanoke was believed to possibly be the name of the thing that disappeared them. A curse. The destination of where they were going, in that it was a word that the other settlers who came upon Roanoke just didn't know. So it could be any number of things. I know they've done like unsolved mysteries on it. I know they've done a number of things focused on Roanoke, but to my knowledge, we still don't have an answer. I could be wrong. Again, English history mostly about Victorian detective novels. So like, I'm not gonna have dates for you. I have not kept up on my Roanoke research. But I feel like this might be Roanoke, because Roanoke occurs before Salem, like the trials, and we've mentioned Salem, but we're not in Salem anymore. So maybe that's it. I will tell you, because this is a middle grade novel, I'm just reading it for fun because I was excited to find it at the book sale at my library, and it's a book fair book. Like, I freaking love book fair. I would love to go to an adult book fair if someone could just like host one. Yes, I know my library does a book sale. They do a lot of book sales, but like there's a difference between like a book sale and a book fair, because book fair you had like goofy trinkets and you had like papers you could fill out to say what you wanted. You could browse these like shiny, cute paperbacks designed for children. There were posters. It was just a fun experience. But yes, so I'll tell you if this is Roanoke or not, because I feel like if you're watching this video, you may not read this book yourself, but you may suggest this book to someone you think would enjoy it who's younger, possibly. I mean, you could read it. It's still very fun. I'm not telling you all the things, but I will tell you if it's Roanoke or not, because I think it has to be. But I'm almost done. I will probably finish it during lunch because, again, middle grade YA book, not taking me long to read. One of my goals for the day is to play all of Gavin's Fear Street vlog. And I'm very excited about that. So I'll also give you my thoughts on that, because I actually haven't read any Fear Street books. And extra fun fact, when I was a kid and would go to half-price books with my folks, I was actually terrified of the Fear Street books because a lot of the covers that they would leave out on the spinning racks were really, really scary to a child. And I just feel so bad because you could get them for like $0.25, and I know that Gavin did not buy these books for $0.25, but like, I'm just like, but back in the day, like the early 2000s, you could just like buy probably hundreds of Fear Street books, because there's so many spin-offs, for like $0.25, $1, 50 cents a book. And that's not gonna happen now because there's so many, like so few used bookstores, and I'm sure, sorry, people have scooped them up and are selling them for way more on the internet now. But like, as a kid, I remember so many of these books just being like so cheap. And if I was not terrified of the covers, maybe I would have read them. I also didn't read any of the Goosebumps books. I think at one point I read the one Monster Blood and didn't like it because I remember there being a hamster on the front. And I didn't read any dummy related things. So I feel like I missed out on that as a kid because I was like really afraid of things. Like, covers of books would creep me out. And then I'd be like, no, I'm not reading it. It's scary. And I feel like, kind of wish I had the experience, but also like, now I'm an adult and I can read and watch whatever I want. So maybe it's good that I did watch the Goosebumps TV show, kind of nostalgically because I remembered it as a kid, but I didn't really watch it as a kid. But yeah, so I like have nostalgia towards the TV show, and also like the Are You Afraid of the Dark TV show. Like, I remember that, though I was horrified of that show because I watched, I've mentioned this before, and I've actually rewatched the episode now because I watched all the episodes that were available on Paramount, I think. Oh gosh, what's it called? Dead Man's Float, where there's like a red monster in the pool, and I remember it being much, much scarier. Like, when I was rewatching it, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be horrifying. And I was like, oh, it's a man in a skeleton suit. Why did my child brain think it was not a man in a skeleton suit? My memory of the episode is that it's actually an animated, like, just skeleton covered in like sinewy muscle bits that was attacking people. And when I watched it, I was like, that's a guy in a suit. Why was my brain evil? Like, my brain made it way worse as a kid, where I was like, it's a skeleton man covered in gross decomposing muscles and it's gonna kill me in the shower. No. But anyway, this clip was way too long. I'm gonna go because work is about to start, but I wanted to fill you in on what I had read so far. I'm gonna drink some more coffee, I'm gonna get to work, and I'll fill you in when I have thoughts on the end of this book and on Gavin's video, which won't be for a while. It'll probably be end of day. Even if I finish this during my lunch break, I won't update you till the end of the day, and then that will be the final update of the vlog. So I'll talk to you later. Hello, we are ending in the bedroom, in a very just like, I thought I'd give you a different room than where I just was. I finished Witch Child, and I also finished Gavin's vlog, or I don't know, I guess it's not really a vlog, it's just like reads all the thing, but is it technically, what, it doesn't matter. The Fear Street video was so much fun. I'm definitely gonna watch it again. So I do this a lot with, sorry, my asthma is asthmaing a little today. I do this a lot with Gavin's Goosebumps vlogs, videos, even though I have never read them. I watch those videos all the time. They're just like nice to have on in the background, and like I've watched them enough that I like know what's gonna happen. I know some good stop points, like I can play it for a little bit and then turn it off, and I'm definitely gonna do that with this one. I don't kind of want to read a Fear Street book, so I might see if my library has any at some point, or we don't have any used bookstores here, so that's a huge downside. Like there just aren't any, and I don't want to like try and get one off like eBay or anything because I'm not gonna collect it. I just want to read it, but I bet you my library has at least one, so I'll try and see if I can find one at some point. Oh, Witch Child. There is no Roanoke. We get so this book kind of acts as a precursor to the witch trials in Salem. So it seems like the longer everyone is in this new country to them, they are getting a little, I almost want to say stir crazy. So the issue is that they like have horrible winters that they're not prepared for. They are low on food in some capacities. There are women dying through childbirth. People are getting injured and sick through a variety of ways that they wouldn't have back in their old lives in Europe. So, or England. So a lot of it is, stuff is happening. We are showing young women getting very invested in like quote unquote witchcraft. And then in this case, Mary is like, well, people are doing stuff and I'm gonna get blamed by the end of it. So it is really that build up to Salem, and there is sort of an epilogue that is not written by Mary in this that mentions people going to Salem but not planning to stay there. And so I do think it is alluding to the fact that what's happening in this particular settlement is going to also start occurring in Salem, because it's sort of the idea of witch fever. So once they think witchcraft or witches are in one area, it will spread. And the same thing happened in England and in other countries like France, and other places. There was a whole inquisition. So they just like, the idea spreads and fear spreads, and it's something you can control when things are uncontrollable. So it really is like a setup too. And I think if you're a young reader and you read this, you would be very interested in seeing more of what happened historically in Salem, as opposed to like, you could read a fiction book for sure, but as a young reader, maybe this would help you branch out into nonfiction or possibly documentaries, something along those lines, to understand sort of the spread of this witch hysteria in a sense. So I had a really fun time rereading this. I know for a fact I've read this before. It's been a long time, but I was like, I know I've read this. I totally have read this before. So it was very fun. This crossed off Child's Play for me in the prompts I'm using, which was child main character, and Mary is 14 and I'm counting Mary as a child. Technically you could say teenager because she's over the age of 13, but I'm going with child. She, in my eyes, I would call her a child. So that's what we're going with. I have 21 prompts crossed off, I think, and I have a way to finish all the rest of the 25 that I have. So that will be in the next video. That one doesn't really have a theme. I have like 2 audiobooks, one I still have to get, a Kindle book that fits a theme, and one is a beverage thing. So I have stuff prepped for those 4, like, that I know I'm gonna do. But this finished this section of prompts. So yeah, I feel like that's it. Oh, super fast. I don't think I talked about this, but if you're watching Agatha all along, the most recent episode where we got like so much info on Teen was so good. I really, really liked it, and I don't think I talked about it. So I just want to point out that it was like a really good episode, and I think I forgot to talk about it, but it was really, really good. So I wanted to mention it in case. If I already talked about it, sorry, you're just getting it as a random like end bit. But yeah, we have some quick errands to run tonight, so I'm gonna go because I need to really just like get shoes on and head out. We gotta get dog food. So we're not do that. I'm gonna make some dinner at home and possibly watch a movie, because we have officially finished, I almost called it what we call it. So we were watching the show Heart of Dixie, which was a CW show in the 2010s-ish. And we always call it Bluebell because it's set in Bluebell, so we've just consistently been calling it Bluebell. We just were. But we watched the final episode yesterday. So we have officially finished it, which means we now have like some wiggle room on what we're gonna watch. Though we have Tracker, the newest episode of Tracker, and at some point the Bob's Burgers episode better be up on Hulu, dang it. They keep saying that the episode is up to watch, and the episode is not there. This is just like a personal problem, and by the next video, I'm sure it's up. But I'm just like, I would like to watch my Bob's Burger episode, thank you. Like, I watch Bob's Burgers religiously the day after because I don't have like a thing that I can watch it live on. So where is it? Give it to me. Anyway, that's just me complaining a little about streaming services not having the thing they're supposed to have. I'm sure they're prepping the streaming, so like Hulu is changing visuals for Halloween because it's so close, and I have a feeling some of that visual change caused some delays for other things, because I just have a feeling that maybe that's what happened. But yes, so Witch Child was good. I enjoyed it. Even if I rated books with star ratings, I would not rate that. I do think that if you know a person who enjoys, regardless of age really, but if you know a younger reader who is very interested in like witch trials or witchcraft in America or anything like that, I would highly recommend it. I think it's a fun time. Also, if you suggest this, I would also suggest the Dear America series. It has a very similar tone to me in the writing style, and I loved those books when I was growing up. But yes, I'm gonna go. I have things to do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more vlogs, there are more coming anyway, please subscribe. What else? Oh, I'm on Instagram at ClefGoEverAfter. And that, I think, is it. So, bye, internet people.